All right. We're on the R now, and that's Ready Player One. Yes, that movie, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Sheridan, and Olivia Cook, and Ben Mendelsohn, T.J. Miller, Simon Pegg, and Mark Rylance, whatever you want to call him. So yeah, as growing up in the 90s and stuff, and being a big fan of Steven Spielberg, I of course was excited when I saw this movie was coming out and it was directed by Steven Spielberg. So of course, I was there day one to see it in a movie theater, and I love this movie. And watching it again, I still love this movie. Steven Spielberg is my favorite director, bar none, and it turns out I haven't seen a lot of his films, but I plan on rectifying that shortly. Doing more reviews of his films, so look for that. But this film takes place in 2045, I think, in the future, where even in the future there's still areas that look like it could be modern day, like the sticks look like it could just be Cleveland today, but with things piled on top of each other. I don't know. And there is a virtual reality world called the Oasis, where everyone goes in to enjoy themselves, and you get a bunch of characters from like Mortal Kombat and like Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger's in there, and you get the Iron Giant and a bunch of characters that, IPs that we've seen everywhere, including like the motorcycle from Akira and the DeLorean from Back to the Future, which Steven Spielberg produced, by the way. Just saying. But yeah. But yeah, and our main character is Wade Watts, and he even pokes at the fact that his dad named him that because it sounded like a superhero name. And the only thing I don't like about him is his normal life. I hate how in movies like this, they have to give the main character the shittiest life ever so that he has a reason to escape into the Oasis. He can't just like video games and like doing that stuff. No, he's got to have a shitty life so that he can jump into this world and try to escape. Because his life sucks so much, he just has to do this. He can't just like to do this. No, he has to have a reason. He has to have a real reason his life is shit. So he has to... I don't like that in movies. It's a plot device that's never satisfied me in the movie that said. It's like, why can't a character just like to do something? Why does he have to have a reason? Why does his life have to be shit for him to want to do this? It's stupid. People can like things without having a reason to like them. It's like telling me, hey, why do you like ham? Because I do. Not because, I have such a shitty life that ham is the only thing that I can escape to give me happiness. No. People can like things just to like them. They don't need to have a reason. They don't have a shitty life to go away and be in this world. And that's, basically did that with like two characters in this movie. He did Olivia Cook's character, Artemis. She escapes into that world because she has a face deformity, which isn't really a deformity. It looks more like a tattoo. But she escapes into that world to escape from that. But yes, Wade Watts lives with his aunt, or as he says, his mom's sister, and her boyfriend, who is the guy from The Witch, who is an asshole, because of course we gotta have that stereotype in this movie. And, yes, so he has a, not really group, but some friends within the Oasis. There's H, who is obviously a female because you can tell from the beginning that it's voice augmentation from her voice. It's like there's no way that's a man. It's a female's voice being augmented. Then you have Shiro and Daito, which are pretty cool characters. And then Artemis comes along, of course. And what they're after is this guy, Holiday. I've been tiptoeing around because I'm trying to figure out. James Holiday. James Holiday created the Oasis with his partner, played by Simon Pegg. I can't remember his name now. I did. Og? His partner Og, because that's what he is told to call him at the end. But they created it as a world for escape, and just this, that no one could have control over it. It's free reign. People can go in there and they can do whatever and enjoy themselves. But upon his passing, Holiday put forth an Easter egg, and you have to find 3 keys to get to it. And whoever finds the Easter egg controls the Oasis. So, of course, we gotta have big, mean, corporate guy, Sorrento, played by Ben Mendelsohn, played fantastically by Ben Mendelsohn, who wants to get the Easter egg and own the Oasis so he can put ads everywhere. Wow, that's life, isn't it? Can't go on YouTube without an ad popping up every 5 fucking minutes. You want to do that in video games? You can't even play a game on your phone without an ad popping up. Or, hey, you can get a free pack of super cards. You watch an ad. Ads are everywhere, and I wish they would just go away. They're not necessary. All right, we have commercials on TV. That's TV. We don't need ads everywhere fucking else. All right? Trying to listen to music on Spotify? Ad pops up every 2 fucking songs. Trying to watch a video on YouTube? Ad pops up every 5 minutes. You can't get away from them. And this movie, kind of digs into that. This guy wants to put ads everywhere, which is, something that happens in real life. So, everyone is trying to find this Easter egg so they can own the Oasis. And this Sorrento, with his... Does it say on the back here? I forgot what it's called, but it's this Sorrento group, I guess I'll call it. And, yeah. So, he's trying to get it, and he's a big fan of Holiday, apparently, because he won't stop talking about him. And that leads him to this archive where we have this robot butler character there. And he figures out the first clue, the first task to get the first key is a race. And nobody wins. Everybody gets squashed by King Kong. But then Wade realizes you have to go backwards, which he does, and it allows him to go through the maze, through the race, backwards, and win. But, and then the subject could have pointed this out, so I'm saying that he pointed it out first. I do feel like someone would have tried that at least once. You can't tell me that in 5 years nobody thought, let's go backwards just once. No one thought of that. You're saying that everybody in 2045 is so fucking stupid that they can't figure out just to try to go backwards? But of course, after Wade does this, or Possible does this, then everyone else starts doing it. Getting in there, and Sorrento is pissed, of course, because, he got it for me. And the next one is a hint leading to Holloway's favorite movie, which is The Shining. I think that the leap not taken was with this woman named Kira, who ended up marrying Ogden Morrow. That's Og, I remember his name. But it was, and you could say that that's a cheap shot, Og marrying the woman that Holiday loved and know that he loved, but I think she died too. I think she's not seen in present time, so I think she passed away too. But who knows? But they find out they have to dance with her. So after only one of them dances with them, apparently they all get keys, I guess, because they're all in a team now, I guess, or a guild or whatever you call it. And so they have to figure out the last one, which does lead them to an Atari 2600, where they have to play the game Adventure. But they don't have to win. Everybody who tries to do that tries to win, but always fails because you're not trying to win. Parzival finally figures out you have to find this. It's like the very first Easter egg ever done. You have to find the secret passageway, and when you go through there, then you get the final key. And before I get to the final act of this film, they do like the big final part because there is something that comes before this. But let's talk about Sorrento's organization, all right? They are the big bad guys of this film. And apparently they locked up Artemis's father, and that never comes back. I always thought that at the end her father was going to be let out of the detention thing. Or did he die in the detention thing? I don't remember exactly. Maybe he died in there. Is that right? I don't know. But yes, eventually they have to meet up in the real world, and then it's revealed, oh, H is a girl. Who cares? Why does it have to be a twist? Oh, H is a girl. Oh no. So, who cares? And Daito, or Shiro, whatever. Shiro is 11 years old. Again, who cares? That's the internet. You never know who you're talking to. As they say earlier in the film, it could be a 500-pound man named Chuck. And it's Artemis, you never know. And yes, that was put in there so when the H reveal happened, it had a point. But, yes, so before we get to that Atari 2600 thing, no, we had this big-ass fight between all the good people and all the bad people, and they're fighting, and it's a really good fight with the Iron Giant, and Gundam, and Mechagodzilla, and fucking Chucky, and it's just fantastic. My favorite line in this film is when H says, here, take this, and hands it to Parzival, and he throws it at the bad guys, and it's Chucky, and the bad guy goes, it's fucking Chucky. You get your one F4 for PG-13 film, and there it is. And it is fantastic, because, I'm a Chucky fan, so, yes. And we have this big fight, and at this point, Sorrento has the whole thing encased in some weird force field, which they, even though it's supposed to be impenetrable, they do disarm it. And they do mess with him to make him think that he's in the real world, but he's not. I don't know what that's supposed to do, but I think it's earlier, but TJ Miller's character gets, if you die in the game, you lose all your assets, whatever you have, and so TJ Miller has acquired a bunch of stuff during this fight, and when it blows up, he loses everything. It's a big old pile of stuff. It's kind of funny. But, yes. The one thing I don't get and never have gotten with this film is Sorrento is lost. He's lost. At this point, like, Sorrento and his goon lady are chasing after them. She gets knocked down, but then Sorrento gets up to him. At this point, even when he's chasing after him, he's pretty much lost, but he doesn't give up. He charges at their van or whatever with a gun, where everybody stands in the way, and then when he pulls out the gun, they all back off. No. It's one gun with a short amount of bullets. Some of you can take a bullet in the shoulder to stop him. He's got one dinky little gun. If all of you jumped on him, there's no way he could get off a shot. Common fucking sense. But no, they all back away so then he can open the door and see that he's got the Easter egg. And it's like, but you already lost. Why was he still pursuing him? He won the game. He beat the adventure thing before you started chasing after him, or at least during. You found out that you lost and you started chasing after him to get to the thing. Why? What is the point? You already lost. You can't get the Easter egg even at gunpoint. It makes no sense. You're not in the game. Yeah, and there's one last test. He can't sign the thing away because that's what he did. And, yeah, he wins. And then Og shows up and reveals he was the butler guy at the archives. Made a deal with him, and if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have survived because the whole thing that used the thing obliterates everyone. But he survived because of the coin he got. They gave him a free life, or free guy as we call it. And, yeah. So he kind of cheated, but he's the hero of this film, so, and then he and his team, the High Five, they're in charge of the Oasis, and one day a week, they decide that they're going to turn that Oasis off so that everyone can enjoy the outside world. Also, his aunt and his aunt's boyfriend die because Sorrento sends someone to shoot down the building even though he's not there. And okay, this is another thing I have a problem with. The boyfriend comes out wearing his special suit that he bought. Why would you take it home? You have this secret little area that you do your little things with. Why would you take your stuff from there and bring it home? Why would you bring that suit home? That guy doesn't know your secret location where you do all the stuff. Why would you bring it home? That bugs me. It bugs me. All right? Like, I know he died shortly after this, but it's like, they made this guy the biggest asshole in the world, and it just doesn't make sense how that suit was in their house. He could have kept it in that secret location that nobody else knows about, but who knows? And yeah, movie ends with, Make My Dreams Come True by Hollow Notes. And, yeah. I really enjoy this film. It's not perfect by any means necessary, but it is an enjoyable film. And being that Steven Spielberg, of course I'm going to like it. It's fantastic. The acting is good. There are some things I have a problem with, of course. But in the movie, you expect that. Not everything is perfect. Sometimes there's movies out there. But in this case, no. But yeah, I like the music. I like some of the CG. I know people complain about the CG, but it's supposed to look wonky. It's a video game. Hello. It's not going to look perfect. But yeah, this was pretty good. So yeah, there you go. Ready Player One. It's pretty good. And then next we go to the letter S. And for that one, I've gone back and forth on so many movies for this that I've decided to make it easy on myself. I'm just gonna do a revisited review for a movie I've already done. But being that the new one is coming out this Friday, from when I'm recording this, I think it's appropriate that I revisit this film. So until then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll be right back.